This is a poem that's called Fly Free, and it was written because I was inspired by a book written by Maya Angelou called Why the Caged Bird Sings, which was advised by my late father, Oscar Frank, who was a local Leicester dub poet who passed in 2020. Fly free. I am the bird that the words of Maya Angelou set free. I am here with my namesake, K-E-H, key. I hold the inner keys to create my own destiny. You too have the keys to set yourself free. Fly free, like a bird on the sweet breeze. I am the bird that the words of Maya Angelou set free. I will fly free, I will fly high, over the oceans, up to the skies, high up enough to kiss the clouds, dance on the stars, shining so bright. Yes, I'm a local Leicester poet. I run a yearly poetry event called the African Caribbean Poetry Honouring at my late father Oscar Frank's memorial bench in Spinney Hill Park. I've performed at various events, poetry events that are ongoing across the city, Word with Lydia Tousey and Semantics, Pink K, which I'm currently part of the excuse my pronunciation, part of the steering committee member group, and also Semantics, Get Mouthy, all places that have, and Literati as well. And I'm just in the midst of my poetry journey and enjoying every experience that I'm having so far. For me, poetry is a way to express my inner feelings, and I find that it helps me to keep my mental health alive and helps me to connect to myself, the creator and creation. I mostly spend my time with my children because I have 6 children, and other than that I like to read, write. I love dancing and singing as well. Well-being and health is when you're doing things for yourself that are positive and constructive, but also fun and freeing at the same time. So a careful balance of both in a way that suits you, who you are, in your core being. And in that way, I think we actually help to give others permission to do the same, which is empowering for both yourself and everyone else. I'm trying my best to keep healthy and eating better foods at the moment. We're on a downhill spiral of getting back into junk foods, takeaways and stuff. I think what you put into your body is definitely key to helping your body to feel better and perform better day-to-day activities, and also definitely impacting your mental health and well-being as well. And I like walking. Walking helps to let me get rid of excess negative energy. That's one way I help myself to keep fit. I'd like an exercise regime. I do go back and forth with yoga a little bit. And yeah, dancing is something I do at home all the time, which helps me as well. Inspire, I think, is something that comes from within, which I think is why it's important that it has the word in it, because I think inspiration, it's not that we can't be inspired by people or things around us. I think true inspiration comes from something that's a natural gift within each of us. And I believe firmly that everybody has something inspiring in themselves to give to the world. I think firstly, my children, my experiences in life, and also my late father and his journey in life as well. My mom, my brothers, family. I'm a very family-orientated person. And just life, just nature especially. I love trees, and if anybody's really spent time around trees, they give off such an amazing energy, and yeah, just life. I feel like it awakens my inner child spirit. I'm a child at heart person, and for many years going through different tough challenges and obstacles that I've had to overcome. My child spirit was getting ignored, and now through poetry and being creative, I'm bringing back or reconnecting with my inner child. And I think it's important for everybody to do that, because we're adulting so much in this present day, or this modern day existence, that we forget to feed that inner child and nourish that inner child, and all it wants is some play and fun and interaction with human interaction, which is definitely key in a society where it's become quite influenced by technology, and a lot of people are behind screens to interact and communicate. And while that's great, because we get to connect with people all around the world that way, I think face-to-face interaction is so important, because our hearts are closer then, and we can heal each other, I think, and inspire each other and give each other more encouragement to live the best lives that we can live. For me, it's very exciting. I feel like something has been lit up inside of me, ignited, and I feel like I'm fully alive when I'm creating or performing whatever it is poetry-wise that I've done. And yeah, it's almost indescribable. It's something beyond words. It's almost like an electric feeling, and we are electric beings. So yeah, it's something very, very hard to put into words, but it's a very good feeling and a very uplifting feeling. I think when I'm on my own with my own thoughts is when I'm most inspired, because I can actually focus on what's going on within myself, but also on an outside inspiration perspective. When I'm at poetry events, whenever I go, even if I go to some poetry events where I just go to watch other poets that I like in the poetry community as well, and they also inspire me. So it's a bit of both, the inner world and the outer world combined. Today, right now, I'm inspired by this event, Inspire. I've been looking forward to this for weeks since Will Horsfall, he announced it at the Semantics event last month, and as soon as he said what it was about and what was on offer, I said to myself, I'm definitely going. I got the instinctive feelings in my gut, and I was excited, and I've been really eagerly awaiting today. So the present moment is very inspiring, and events like this are so important, especially for upcoming artists who maybe don't have access to funds and equipment and things like that. This is actually a really great opportunity, and I feel very grateful to be here. I think various people throughout my life, on a worldly scale, Maya Angelou, Malcolm X, Bob Marley, Nina Simone. There's a lot of great people who have lived lives over the last probably century or so that have really personally inspired me because of the obstacles that they had to overcome, and I can relate to a lot of the things that they went through. So on a worldly level, on a more personal level, my father is probably my greatest inspiration in the arts, entertainment and poetry community. And then there's different people in the poetry community. I'm very inspired by Bobber Cass, Lydia Tousey, Carol Leeming, Tyrone Horton, and many other poets that I've met along the way have really helped along my journey for me to be sitting here today. Community for me is huge. I think because I grew up in Highfields, which at one point in time was a very close-knit community. Neighbours looked out for each other's children. People, if they needed a slice of bread, a cup of sugar, they were able to knock on each other's doors. It was very intimate like that. And although obviously Highfields isn't the same, they've still got a very close-knit community now. My mum still lives there, so even though it's changed from what it was when I grew up, that the heart of the community still lives on there. And I think it's important because I think when people don't feel like they're a part of their community, they can become very isolated. And isolation, although it can have its benefits to it, where you get to maybe see yourself and maybe look inside of yourself, not everybody necessarily has the capability to do that. And isolation can be bad for your health, bad for your mental health, and so on. So I think it's community, even historically, looking at all of the different tribal communities across the planet that I've read and watched documentaries about, the fact that they were always together, the grandparents, the uncles, aunties, friends, everybody, moms, dads, children, they were all there supporting one another, uplifting one another and helping each other to grow. And I think in this modern day society we've kind of lost touch with that to some extent, although it still exists in certain parts of the world. There's a huge part of it, especially in the inner city life, where it's been a bit of a disconnect. My children are my community, my immediate community. They're my mom and my brothers and my external family, and then on a wider scale, my community now is the poetry community. Yes, mainly the poetry community, but I love the arts on a whole. I was fortunate enough, for instance, to do a documentary or be a part of a documentary, a rave documentary last year, which was by Keith Allett, Laura Wilkinson and Rory Booth. It was aired at the Phoenix Arts Theatre, and that was an amazing experience. And it took me back to my teenage years when I had a one-off rave experience at an under-18s rave. But it took me back in time. They had a little mini rave after the showing of the documentary as well. And events like that really inspire me, and I think they keep you going in life when these sort of events pop up and they keep you motivated to carry on doing what you're doing to express yourself as well. If you feel like you've got anything inside of yourself, or there's any creative pursuits that you'd like to seek in life, just believe in yourself and go for it. Importantly, don't worry about what people might think or say. Know that you're going to make mistakes and that mistakes are all a part of the journey, and just believe in yourself and believe that you're enough.